It can be a touchy subject, and I'm asked sometimes whether I would ever allow my decisions in government to be influenced by my Christian faith. Whenever I hear this, I know what they want me to say. The simple and safe reply is no, never, of course not. If the game is political correctness, that's the answer that moves you to the next round. The end point is a certain kind of politician we've all heard before. The guy whose moral convictions are so private, so deeply personal, that he even refuses to impose them on himself. The mistake is to confuse points of theology with moral principles that are knowable to reason as well as by faith. And this confusion is all part of a false narrative that casts religious Americans as intolerant scolds, running around trying to impose their views on everyone. The stories vary year after year, but the storyline is getting familiar. The progressive political agenda is ready for its next great leap forward, and religious people or churches are getting in the way. Our friends on the left like to view themselves as the agents of change and reform, and you and I are supposed to just get with the program. There are consequences when you don't genuflect to the latest secular dogmas, and those dogmas can be hard to keep up with. So we find officials in a major city demanding that pastors turn over copies of their sermons, or federal judges mistaking themselves for elected legislators and imposing restrictions and rights that do not exist in the Constitution, or an agency dictating to a Catholic charity, the Little Sisters of the Poor, what has to go in their health plan, and never mind objections of conscience. I don't know about you, but I'm betting that when it comes to doing the right and good thing, the Little Sisters of the Poor know better than the regulators at the Department of Health and Human Services. From the standpoint of religious freedom, you might even say it's a choice between the Little Sisters and Big Brother, and I'm going with the Little Sisters. That case continues, and as usual, the present administration is supporting the use of coercive federal power. What should be easy calls in favor of religious freedom have instead become an aggressive stance against it. Somebody here is being small-minded and intolerant, and it sure isn't the nuns, ministers, and laymen and women who ask only to live and practice their faith. Federal authorities are demanding obedience in complete disregard of religious conscience. And in a free society, the answer is no.